There is no interim head coach, but there is a head coach who is going to be coaching Notre Dame in the college football playoff. Marcus Freeman announced as the new coach of Notre Dame. It is official. Marcus Freeman's going to take over. I didn't see a lot of this happening. Certainly didn't see Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame. This is about to be a chaotic week of college football. It is time to unleash the nuclear football because it is about to get crazy. Happy birthday, Marcus Freeman. Black Lives Matter! It's all these white guys sending their plantation of unpaid skilled labor, and these guys get paid millions of dollars by taxpayers. Marcus Freeman, January the 10th, the day of the national championship. He will win the national championship. Happy 36th birthday to Marcus Freeman. Happy birthday. Because he is going to win the national championship over at Indianapolis, Indiana. Brian Kelly has missed out with 92 wins with Notre Dame. In the gematria calculator, you're going to see that it is Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order organization that has gematria 56. It's Coach Freeman that has gematria of 56. And I want to say, this is why Brian Kelly leaves with 92 wins. And it's Marcus Freeman that is gematria 56. The amount of time from today's announcement to the national title is a span of 5 weeks and 6 days. Super significant. 1 month and 10 days later, January the 10th is his birthday. Marcus Freeman, this is the day of the national title. 41 days later, what we get is the gematria of Notre Dame. It's Indianapolis, Indiana that is going to be hosting the national championship. Indianapolis, Indiana has the same gematria as Roman Catholic Church. Judas has betrayed Notre Dame. Judas hysteria will miss out. If only Brian Kelly would have stayed with Notre Dame, it would have been wins number 93 and 94 to win the national championship. Too bad, because Brian Kelly's a traitor, and he did the same thing with Cincinnati. He left right before the Sugar Bowl. He left Cincinnati. He left the players in the dark. The same thing is happening right here, without a shadow of a doubt. Notre Dame's going to be 13-1. 13-1's gematria championship. Absolutely. With Tommy Rees and Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame are going to be winning the national championship. It is Judas that is gematria 55. It is Jorge. Remember what I've talked about with Georgia. Why Georgia is in the national championship game against Notre Dame, because Pope George Bergoglio, Jorge Bergoglio is the name of the Pope. Jorge is George in Spanish. So this is why they have to beat Georgia in the national championship. And that's what's going to be happening here with Coach Freeman. 2 for 2, a perfect 2 for 2 as the head coach to win the national championship, with Tommy Rees as his offensive coordinator. Rees is gematria 20. 2-0 as the head coach after replacing Brian Kelly. We have not seen the craziest of yet, which is to happen in the college football season. Step number 1 is to have a coach. And the committee must respect the fact that Notre Dame has a head coach right now, and that should not count against them. Sunday, faith, hope, miracles, Jesus miracles. It is a grand script that is about to play out. Remember, Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, Catholic president, Notre Dame right now in the national championship. There's going to be a big riddle with Joe Biden's super miraculous Super Tuesday, and with the so-called miracle where, Biden comes back. But remember, they had to count all the votes. It appeared like Biden was losing big, but that was only because they were still counting the votes. With all the mail-in votes that were coming in on the day of the election and all the time to count the mail-in votes. So we're definitely seeing this riddle play out here with Marcus Freeman, Ohio State, Huber Heights, Ohio. He's from the state of Ohio. It's also Ohio that's got gematria of 47. Same gematria as Kelly, same gematria as Rees. But very clear, you start to understand why he is the coach at this point in time right now. 40 days is the national championship. 5 weeks and 5 days. Jorge is gematria 55. Remember, George Bergoglio, Jorge Bergoglio. 40 days later, it's the Pope that's got gematria of 40. 40 days until the national championship. The day when the grand miracle is about to happen for Notre Dame over at Indiana. That is the riddle. And I absolutely will take Notre Dame if these players are in the national championship, because you know what about to happen right now? These guys will take it personally and take it out on Brian Kelly in the college football playoff. Because Brian Kelly didn't think Notre Dame could win the national title. They had a legit chance of going in the college football playoff. But that tells everything you need to know about Brian Kelly. That he doesn't believe these guys are good enough to win. And these guys with young energy on the sidelines like Tommy Rees and Marcus Freeman are going to go out and prove Brian Kelly wrong. Like, hey, you should have stayed for this. We're going to prove y'all wrong. And this is why Judas is going to lose right after he leaves Notre Dame. And that's what Marcus Freeman and company's about to do. They're going to show Brian Kelly, hey, we are good enough to win the national title. We will start what y'all gave up.